In Nightreign, Wylder is wildly known, get it? Wildly known as the Fist guy. Wylder and Fists with the right passives can be a force to be reckoned with. In a world of balance and slop, he of course is not going to be doing insane damage, but he can constantly apply pressure and in the right scenarios, cause stand breaks and generally just fit that tank role, draw the aggro, so you're very intelligent and definitely not low IQ. Slop abusers can press their R2 without thinking. Don't be offended by that. If you're an R2 abuser, just own it. What if I told you there was a better candidate for Fists? Now, for this to work, you would obviously need to be looking at another strength character. So, you have the Undertaker and Raider. Now, both of those can do the job, and in some scenarios, they can do the job even better. But what if I told you we weren't talking about the Raider or the Undertaker? I do have something very special coming for the Undertaker. What if I told you we were talking about a Dex character?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Yes, of course, we are talking about Ironeye. Now, of course, with no relics, the Wylder is going to out-damage the Ironeye, is going to win when it comes to Fist. But with Ironeye's mark, there isn't that much difference, and that's just using him as a Dex character. But what happens if we add the Ironeye's Vigor Strength relic in? You now have a character that can out-damage Wylder with Fists, and even more so when adding in his mark. Now, why is this beneficial? Well, for starters, stance breaking in trios, although it can be done, it's a very strenuous task. Unless you obviously have two constant heavy hitters swinging charged R2s. This whole thing becomes quite effortless when you have Ironeye's mark. Not only does it stance break, but Ironeye's mark is a defense buff for the enemy that now allows the whole team to do more damage. Now, of course, some of you may already know this information, but Wylder base relics has 1120 Vigor. Ironeye, with his Vigor Strength relic, has 980, which is still 140 less Vigor, but I would take a 980 Vigor over the 1120 if it means everyone could do more damage overall. I've discussed defenses before, basically they're the same, and honestly, Nightfarers defenses don't really matter in depth 3 and above, passives are what do the work. Then of course we could talk about the ultimate ability. Honestly, the ultimate ability is about the same for Wylder and Ironeye. Both do a big amount of damage, both do great stance damage, and both have like a decent after effect. Wylder obviously has fire, and Ironeye can do poison. So really the only question is, can Wylder be as effective as an Ironeye? My personal opinion, if you have the same level skill player playing both, the Ironeye is going to be infinitely more effective. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't play Wylder, because he's still probably top 4 Nightfarer for a reason, and he can do the job perfectly fine. Ironeye's tools and Ironeye's kit just have the edge overall. Now, of course, it's very different playing a Dex Ironeye compared to a Strength Ironeye. It's very different playstyle in general. Dex weapons are generally fast, don't want to get hit, get in and out, do the damage, don't get touched. Strength weapons, or the optimal way to play strength weapons, is using the passives that the game gives you to allow you to constantly keep pressing your attack button. So, I mean, of course you can obviously use the balancer slop and it would work perfectly fine, but my preferred way is playing Claws or Fist. Fists are generally better when using his Vigor Strength relic because obviously you lose out on some Dex, but Claws will work perfectly fine. Next, my preferred way will always be doing charged heavies. And honestly, if you're playing like a Strength Fist or a Strength Dex Claw build, you want to be applying pressure, so charged heavies is always going to be the way forward. Just to apply that pressure, keep the boss aggroed and always on you. Now obviously some people will argue that R1 spam will do more damage over time. Unless you're playing like a Dex and Arcane character, you want to be sticking to charged heavies. Not to say that R1 spam won't do the job, because it will do the job perfectly fine. But when you are looking at the passives that we're going to discuss and the way that you're going to play Ironeye, it works out better if you do charged heavies. So for Fist, obviously always Star Fist or Iron Balls. Now Iron Balls will do more damage, generally do more damage, but it's not by much, but obviously the Star Fist come with innate bleed. For Claws, you only ever really want the Raptor's Talons because of the forward motion. Anything else, you probably just get better off picking up a Fist, but if it's Claws, Raptor's Talons. Now as for passives, of course you can use a damage negation at full, but there's a better way to play Fist with charged attacks. Now, for the early game, you're always going to pick up a damage negation at full because you're going to be one shot. Even as a Wylder, you'd be one shot anyway, so the Vigor doesn't really matter there. But there are better passives when you're playing charged weapon attacks. Now, for anyone who plays the Raider, or anyone who plays the Undertaker, I guess really, you know that damage negation on landing charged attacks is probably better overall than damage negation at full. because you don't need to worry about constantly being at full health, because you can constantly keep up the pressure by R2ing a charged heavy, and your damage negation is going to be constant. Now, paired with damage negation on charge attacks, you always want taking damage boost damage negation. These two work in tandem and they work absolutely brilliant together. These are the best relics that allow you to constantly keep up the R2 heavy pressure without dying, and you don't need to worry about being at full health all the time. And obviously, that is not exclusive to Raider, it's not exclusive to the Undertaker. In fact, it's not exclusive to any of the Nightfarers. Damage negation on landing charge attacks with taking damage boost damage negation will work perfectly for every Nightfarer. Just be aware that the ones with low Vigor are obviously going to be in more danger than someone with high Vigor. And of course, damage negation on successive attacks will also work very well. Next up, for power-ups, we obviously want charge attack power-up. The max you can get is 22%, and honestly, if you can find them, those are going to be your bread and butter. Then you can have attack power-up when wielding 2 armaments, and then finally you get your physical and melee attack power-ups. All of those will work perfectly fine. Charge attack power-up is going to be your bread and butter. And honestly, the playstyle is simple. Mark, charged heavy, keep applying your charged heavy, mark pops, get a stance break, rinse and repeat. That is pretty much the easiest way to play it, and it's the most optimal way to play it. Now, as for the build, this is how I play the Strength Vigor Ironeye. Now, obviously, you're not stuck on using Fist. Any kind of quality weapon will work perfectly fine, any strength weapon will work perfectly fine, and you can obviously also use your Dex weapon. But here's the build. First up, for the base relics, we have the Vigor Strength relic. Now, I like to use the one on the base relic just because you get extra Vigor and extra Strength. You get the +3 Vigor and the +3 Strength, which obviously you don't get that on the Deep relics. Not to say you couldn't get a better one on the Deep relics, because obviously I think you can get the +4 physical attack power on the Deep relics, which obviously would be better overall. I just like to use it in the base relics. And honestly, Ironeye doesn't have that many base relics that you need. You need a +1, Night Invader, and possibly like a poison for your bow if you're playing like, bow Ironeye. Second relic is obviously a god roll. It's a +1 character skill with Night Invader and Vigor. And then finally, we have the Dormant Powers Discovers Fist. The reason why this relic is really good, you don't actually need it because you can find Fist all the time, is because it comes in tandem with the taking attacks, improves attack power. Now, when you're playing the charged playstyle, like I mentioned earlier, with the damage negation, this relic is perfect because you are going to be taking attacks, because you're not going to be bothered about being at full health, and you're not going to be bothered about rolling attacks. You're just going to spam your charged heavies. So, it's an insane relic to use. And for the Deep relics, they're very self-explanatory. Physical attack power up +4 with an increased HP. Second relic is the character skill inflicts poison damage. This skill is just a must. It's free damage on the mark. Like, why wouldn't you want to use this? And then finally, we've got the physical attack +4. Final relic, we have the physical attack +3. And then, honestly, this is probably my best relic I have in the entire of Nightreign, because of the attack power up when facing a poison afflicted enemy +2, and also the same for the frostbite enemy. If you didn't know, each one of these give a 20% damage increase. So as soon as I've poisoned the enemy and someone's frostbitten it, I'm getting an extra 40% damage just by having this relic on. Now, of course, I have a very good setup for this build, but most of this you don't need. +1 character skills a must, Night Invader's a must, Vigor Strength relic's a must, Dormant Powers Fist, not really, taking attacks improves attack power, not really. Both work very well because obviously, it gives you more of a chance to get Fist, and you get extra damage when taking an attack. And for the Deep relics, just physical attack +4 is what you want. Character skill is obviously optional. I would never run Ironeye without it, but it's not a must for this build. So gamers, there's not really much else to discuss on this one. It's fairly simple build to run. With the recent video where, someone said that Ironeye melee was trash, I just want to point out how rounded Ironeye can be. How he can basically fit in any role in the game. You could probably even use Ironeye as a caster without any casting relics, and he would still be pretty good. Ironeye really is a top tier character. Now, in the lower depths, because I've played in the lower depths, I understand that a lot of Ironeyes don't live up to their standard. A lot of Ironeyes sometimes can be a hindrance more than a help in the team. In the later depths, you will see the difference. An Ironeye in later depths will carry an entire team. It's just how it is. Because their kit, their tools are incredibly broken, and they just make the whole team stronger. So yeah, if you haven't seen the Ironeye melee is trash video, go look at that one first. It just gives you a bit of an inkling to why I'm talking about Ironeye so much. And as always, gamers, if you're still here, I appreciate you more than you know. Stay safe. Catch you on the next one. Big love. Peace.